Hello everybody and welcome to another action cam comparison video. Well, models that you already know, and they're part of the three that SJCAM has released this year. We have the SJ8 Air, Plus and Pro. And many of you are asking whether they should buy the Pro model or the Plus model, because both of them can record at true 4K and they can apply electronic image stabilization, which makes the footage not too shaky. Two very similar and at the same time very different action cameras. I was quite surprised to see that many differences, and they are apparently related to the chipsets used. My findings are based on almost 2 months of using both cameras, and I was quite lucky with my second Pro version, which was as stable as my GoPro Hero 6. I have prepared a lot of theory and a lot of practical examples how both cameras differ from each other. Please note, no matter how many features and resolutions a camera supports, most of the people pay attention to three main things: easiness of usage, battery life, and image quality. To each of these points, the Pro is easier to configure because of the slightly more options on the touchscreen. The Plus model offers slightly better battery life. Note that both models use the same battery type and it is replaceable. Both of them support being charged while shooting, which is a great advantage as well. As for the third criteria, the image quality, it can be a little subjective sometimes and is often a personal preference. Just keep on watching and you will get your own opinion. Before I go any further, there are two things which changed in the time between this video and the initial review that I've applied for the SJ8 Pro. I've lost my first camera. It was an unfortunate accident with a drone, and then I got a new one and it actually doesn't freeze. I was really surprised to see it's not freezing. None of the firmwares that was freezing with my first SJ8 Pro was freezing over here. So that's quite a bonus and I'm really happy about that. Makes me think that the first initial batch of this camera seems to have some sort of issues, some hardware issues or something like that. The second thing I notice, the image quality of my second Pro is better. Perhaps it's something changed in the lens section. I guess they somehow improved that, whether that's a physical change or just a software change, most likely a physical one. Doesn't matter, I still believe SJCAM needs to do something about those people that are affected, because obviously if you look at the comments below my SJ8 Pro review, there are a lot of people experiencing the same symptoms as I did. Right now it's really a pleasure to use it, and actually it's a big pleasure to use both cameras. I was actually quite surprised to see them side by side. I already watched some of the footage and the Pro in fact does pretty well. It's pretty impressive. The Plus, we know, is delivering solid quality and we know that from the review already. Let's begin with the resolutions and modes. Almost the same, with one minor exception: the Plus has a dedicated underwater mode. This mode enhances the red color tone so that it compensates for the more blue and green that usually appears on these kind of scenes. Weirdly, Pro has no such an option, at least not in the current 1.24 firmware. Shooting at each one of these modes is easy and may unlock some extra features, but in most of the time experience is quite similar. Now is the right time to mention about the resolution support. Of course, this is where the Pro model clearly wins. Supported are the much more cinematic 24 and 25 FPS, as well as 50 frames per second for some of the modes. A little surprise is that on 2K 60 FPS, the Plus model does provide electronic image stabilization, while the Pro doesn't. Also, the Plus wins at 720p, offering 120 FPS alongside the 240. I think the Pro model does a slightly better job capturing more details at the higher resolution rate, which allows you to create quite cool slow-motion videos. Both cameras perform significantly better at higher resolutions than the predecessor SJ7 Star. You can certainly notice the main difference with the Plus, as it tends to show everything a bit reddish. I even thought that the underwater mode is somehow on during the whole time, but it isn't. Luckily, you have the options to adjust the colors via the menus, and probably SJCAM will improve and fine-tune the color accuracy in auto mode with some of the next updates. Before exploring more about these cameras, let me present to you the sponsor of this video, Movavi, with an idea how to make your good footage to look great in a few easy steps. Since we're talking about action cameras, this is among the best easy-to-use video editing apps you can find. Developed by experienced and enthusiastic people, the Video Editor Plus delivers a lot of awesome features that will allow you to quickly get used to the interface and apply tons of effects and transitions. I wish I knew about this software earlier. It is perfect for beginners, for editing daily vlogs, stitching videos, adding notes and effects, and even stabilizing shaky footage. Even though the software is super easy to use, it is not just about the essentials. There is a chroma tool, a color grading kit, even sound and video libraries, an extended collection of filters, transitions and titles if you go for the Plus version. To get more details about the Video Editor Plus by Movavi, check the description below the review. Let's get back to our cameras and talk about one of the main strengths of the Pro model, at least in my opinion, and this is the feature called Distortion Correction. It greatly reduces the ball effect, which is an expected implication by the wide-angle lenses used in action cams, and can be enabled even with image stabilization on. The Plus model lets you choose between stabilization or distortion correction. No way to have both of them running at the same time. Speaking of the Plus model, it adds 3 different field of view options to sort of compensate this disadvantage: wide, medium and narrow. And the Pro model gives you the choice between wide and ultra wide only. Both cameras will give you zoom in Full HD and overall anything lower than 4K mode. This is practically lossless zoom, and the feature benefits from the capability of the sensor to capture more pixels, but note, there is nothing better than optical zoom, which is of course not present in action cameras yet. I will let you watch some more footage shot at various resolutions and environments while checking some of the additional options. Looks like Novatech have embedded a lot of awesome features, and the Plus model is capable of programming the buttons for a quick start. Instead of going the usual way, power on, then switching to the desired shooting mode, and so on, you can go straight with long press of the shutter button. Nothing new. This has been adopted a while ago by GoPro cameras and some other brands. Right now, with firmware 1.24, this option is not available with the Pro. Another win for the Plus is the wide dynamic range feature. Doesn't bring much based on testing, but at least a slight image enhancement. Now, before summarizing, let's have a look where the Pro is better. First of all, support for external microphone. Unfortunately, requires a proprietary one. Thanks a lot to Danielle for pointing to an easy, do-it-yourself connector which will let you use any kind of mic, and it is a pity seeing SJCAM taking the GoPro approach. Just reminding you that Firefly actually do include an external microphone as part of their 8 SE pack. Besides the mic option, there is a way to control the LEDs, there already is the implementation to shut down the front display, and likely this feature was implemented thanks to you, the awesome viewers and subscribers of the Tech4O channel. Arijit Banik was among the first to point to the lack of this option after my initial SJ8 Pro review. Another step in the GoPro path is the gimbal control, which will work only with the SJCAM manufactured gimbal. In terms of connectivity, both cameras are rather excellent. Support for remote control, option for AV out, which is, by the way, awesome for racing drones. There is audio volume leveling, and we can record in H.264 or the H.265 format, with the latter one offering the same great video quality at smaller file size. Interestingly, Google and a few more companies are working on the AV1 format, and there even are the first AV1 encoded videos in YouTube already. Likely, in a few years, we're going to see this format making its way through the various devices, just like high-efficiency video codec. Both of the cameras stabilize footage pretty well. 6-axis gyro for the Pro and 3-axis gyro for the Plus. Up to 6400 ISO for Pro and 3200 for the Plus. I think you get the idea. Where SJCAM were able to go the extra mile and offer a little more, it was usually going in favor of the Pro. And so, what do you say? I was actually surprised by the results when comparing these side by side. Note that I've been staying away from most of the technical and hardware specs, as these are already covered in the detailed reviews of each of these models that I've published earlier. One thing I can say for sure, looks like batches after July 2018 of the SJ8 Pro model are safe to buy and stable enough. A week ago, I was about to say that everything mentioned doesn't change my mind about the cams at all. But it looks like SJCAM finally felt the pressure from all the troubles and shortfallings of the Pro and significantly revised the price tag. From 289, the price is now dropped to €225 or $229. So they now are 25% closer to the right path. To put it in simple words, you can buy 2 SJ8 Pro cameras for the price of a brand new GoPro Hero 7. The SJCAM has no GPS, worse battery life, it has slightly worse image quality, it's not waterproof without a case, flat color mode is not really flat, it's more like normal color toning, and the one on GoPro gives you so much better color grading options. Poor firmware updates on the SJCAM side. Right now there are only 2 official updates and 4 that have been pulled down because of bugs. After almost half of a year. Not to mention the ridiculous way of communication with SJCAM support, I could easily summarize this year's SJ8 series as a great idea, executed with questionable quality and overly wrong pricing. Well, at least the last one has just been revised. If you want to better understand what I'm saying, go and read the comments below my SJ8 Pro review. Unlike what's happening in Amazon and SJCAM forums, the comments there would not disappear. And you will see mainly 2 types of people there, the SJ8 supported or paid trolls, and some other people that had the unfortunate fate of getting a defect SJCAM product like I did. At the end, if I forget about all the hassle I've had with my old Pro and SJCAM support as well, and the trolls, and if I don't think about the price, although now it's better, if you happen to buy a properly working one, the SJ8 Pro could be a wonderful choice and makes filming videos easy and fun. As for the SJ8 Plus, with minor remark about the color accuracy, pretty great and impressive, and in my opinion, well worth its current price tag. Speaking of which, check for more information in the links from the video description. That's been all of it for this comparison of those true 4K cameras with excellent features. If you want to know more, get in touch via the comments below. Be happy, enjoy life, support the channel by subscribing and liking the video, and share it via social media if it is suitable for your friends. And I'm gonna see you soon. Bye!